At the conclusion of this video, please click on the like and subscribe button and ring the bell and you'll get all of our updates. Good morning. It is Sunday, May the 24th, 2020. I'm Shell Spivey. Welcome to La Entrada, Ecuador. It's a little cloudy out today, but normally it is this time of day. In an hour or so, maybe it'll clear up, maybe it won't. But I want to take just a few moments today to answer some frequently asked questions. I'm not really going to address the food distribution at all, but I'll do that in the next day or two. But one question, and the one most frequently asked, is why did you and Marsha elect to stay in Ecuador during this pandemic as opposed to maybe returning to the States where it might be safer? Well, our answer to this is, and I certainly don't consider myself any kind of martyr, and I don't want to be, but what we've decided was that we just have so much in this community and our involvement, and we are part of it. We love the people here. The Ecuadorian people are just wonderful. They're very caring people. So we definitely feel part of this community, and we just didn't feel like that in good conscience we could leave. The signal it might send wouldn't be what we wanted to send at all. So we looked at everything. We decided, hey, we're going to sit this out here. Whatever happens, it happens. The second thing that really concerned us, and part of the reason for the decision, we thought at some point potentially this could be a real food shortage problem, and that is proven to be exactly correct. So anyway, that's the reason we made our decision, but I don't want you to think that we didn't think of the consequences. We looked at, if we did get infected with this, what would be our options? So healthcare here on the coast is very poor at best. We have a little clinic here, but to try to get any kind of treatment and certainly go there and get some medical treatment really wasn't part of what was going to happen, and we knew that. So what we looked at was possible treatments that we could treat ourselves at home, and we've been doing a number of things. We've been taking vitamins. That's a little vial of vitamin D. We've been using a nebulizer and bringing that with a little hydrogen peroxide into our lungs. Believe me, it's safe. It's safe. We checked it out. So we're taking vitamin A. But if we really got sick, we knew that what was going to complicate this is because we could not travel around the country. If about 6 hours east of here is a city called Cuenca. Healthcare facilities, top notch, no question about it. But they have put a stop on travel between provinces. So that really was, not an option. That door was shut. So what we started doing was looking at options. If we got the infection, what will we do? Was there any other kinds of treatments? And all of our research, this hydroxychloroquine kept coming up. And I know that's very controversial, but I wanted to tell you about why we made the decision and to do what we've done. So we started looking at the availability, and you can only get it by going in the hospital and a doctor prescribing it here. Supposedly there is some of it here in Ecuador. We knew that wasn't an option. So we started going underground, and we did find some chloroquine, which is a harsher version of hydroxychloroquine and has more side effects. So we bought that just to have it, and then we would make the decision if the time came, hopefully it wouldn't, whether we'd take it or not. And a couple of weeks later, we were able to secure some hydroxychloroquine, and we have that today. We have Z-Packs, we have zinc. So about the time we got the chloroquine, Amari, a young lady that lives here in a village, it's kind of like a daughter to us almost. She came here, she was distraught. She said, my dad's got it, and he has really gotten bad. And so she wanted to know if there was anything we could do to help. We did. We went down and got his vitals. We got his blood pressure and temperature, and we used this meter here. It's an oximeter, I think is what they call it, which gives the blood oxygen level and the pulse rate. I think maybe of all the equipment we've been able to secure, this is the most important. But from what we'd read about it, anything below 90, it's not good. It should always be above 90, probably 95 or better. But when we checked his, it was 75. And we'd talked about putting him on oxygen. So she came back and we talked to the doctor and told him what the situation is and told him it was 75. And he said, "Oh my goodness, this is not good." And he said, "Well, what we need to do is get him on oxygen immediately," which that's part of the equipment we've been able to secure. So we had the regulator and the oxygen. And I did tell the doctor that we were able to secure some chloroquine, and we had that available. Would that be a possibility to give it to him? And he said, "You know, I've got mixed feelings about the drug." He said, "Honestly, the condition he's in, according to the vitals, he may well not make it till tomorrow morning." And he said, "Probably I'd try it." So anyway, that's what we did. And we fully expected a call the next morning that he had passed on. Well, Mari said, "You know, he's doing some better. You know, his breathing's not as labored and he's doing better." So, well, just keep doing what we're doing. Day number 2, he was sitting up and communicating in bed. And number 3, he's sitting up in a chair and very communicative. And day number 4, he's up having breakfast with his family. I'm just telling you all that to make it seem like we might not be as crazy as some people might think, because in his particular situation, it worked. So that's probably given us a little bit more confidence that we're going to do the hydroxychloroquine and hopefully everything will be all right. But so that's the reason we chose that path. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is conditions in the village as they exist today. About a week ago, the government came in here and they had some test kits. They tested 37 people in the village and 24 of those tested positive. That's a little scary. But they did caution us that these were the Chinese test kits, and at best they were about 50% accurate. So that's what we had to go with. But one good thing that did come out of it is that a lot of people in the village were just in denial that we could actually have the infection, and they know better now. So you know, they're having to come to grips with that. It's been very good. Another positive thing is that right out of the gate here about 6-7 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, we had 7 deaths. I reported on that, and all of them were above 65. The good thing is, since that time, nobody else has died. And so, you know, I think that's, we're protecting the older people and the more at-risk people. And even though there are others infected, they haven't gone and deteriorated to where it would require oxygen or anything like that. So that's a real positive. Another positive is the government is starting to unlock the country. It's going at a much slower pace than what is happening in the United States. We're going from a red condition to a yellow Monday. Now, that doesn't mean you can get out and do anything you want to, similar, you know, as far as getting out and driving around. Even under the yellow stage, we can only drive 2 days a week, and we're very limited. We still can't travel interprovincially, so that's not an option. So it's going to be much more of a gradual opening of the country, and I think what people really haven't come to grips with is that when they open the country, it's not going to be like it was. It's going to be a much slower recovery here than I think in the United States. And so, you know, hopefully as some people are able to go to work, we'll gradually need less and less help and you know, buying less food. But that's not going to happen in the next week or two. Hopefully in a month or 6 weeks, we can start really decreasing the amount necessary. But we're also having to, you know, get people to plant gardens and get prepared to take care of themselves. And over time, we will recover. And from our personal standpoint, it will be nice if we can travel to Cuenca. So, you know, it gives us a lot more options on treatment if we do get the infection. So, but that's pretty much where it is right now. And anyway, that's what's going on. Keep praying for us. We'll pray for all y'all. And, you know, we're excited that maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you very much. God bless you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to include here a link down in the description of one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. And basically it's a young lady and she's talking about, you know, how with things to do during this virus. And you just got to watch it to believe it, but it'll make your day, unlike this particular video. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. If you would like to make a contribution, you can go to the description below and there's a link that will take you directly to PayPal. You click on that link and then you can make a contribution via credit card. Again, thank you so much.